Okay. We got everything good on the TikTok front. We gotta make sure shit is correct on the YouTube front, and then we can just exist happily on the Twitch front. Alright. Hey, what's up, anime? How you doing? Wolf Slays, thank you for the 2 months in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Starry-eyed, yeah, new background. We're going to be doing some stuff for the subathon, and so I wanted to get the camera set up a little better. One, to do just chatting stuff. I like the being green screened into the background of like the game is all well and good, but there's a lot of times where if I just want to have the camera on me, the angle that it had to be on to have the green screen perfectly behind me was just not working particularly well. Hey, what's up, Alec Man? Anthem of the World. Thank you for the 8 months in a row at Tier 1. Welcome back to the dog home, dog. And then... Hey, Gravity. Good to see you caught up. What's up, King Dude? How you doing? Yeah, Bone Lord. Bone Lord. That's where they're called your problems, dog. Now that said, my Twitch stream manager hasn't even realized that I'm live yet, so we may have a little predicament with that. It might be your internet being bad, Bone Lord. It could also be like a regional thing. For someone who has an engineering degree, I know terrifyingly little about how computers work, but what I do know is that sometimes there can be issues with local servers rather than like global servers in terms of how Twitch is distributing my VOD. So there have been people who are in like a bad region of the country or region of the world, and then they catch more technical problems than anybody else does. Hey, what's up, Fractal Heart? Thank you so much. I appreciate you checking out the stream. We are live. We're live like 20 minutes early, so we're gonna do a tiny bit of vamping, and then we gotta grab. We're looking today for Exotic Show, VMG, Starry-Eyed Nightwing, and Oliver H. And so as soon as we see any of those four people, we are gonna get into uh Vanilla Bean Boy. Let me try to identify which of our submitters you are. Wow, that Patreon name is nothing like Vanilla Bean Boy for any of these people. What? Elegman, what are you talking about? You're Oliver H. Okay, thank you, Vanilla Bean Boy. I appreciate you sounding off. Gorilla Azul, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. Welcome back to the dog home, my friend. Okay, we can get some Naya hate going in just a second. I just want to make sure that all the streams are live correctly. Does look like we're live correctly. What's up, Azamar? Self-selecting into vertical is crazy, quite frankly. I typically imagine that people enjoy the horizontal stream much more, but if you want to self-select into vertical, that's all you go. That's all you. Caston, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the dog home, my friend. Welcome to dog heaven. Brave to do that a day ahead of the subathon rather than on the subathon itself. Vanilla Bean Boy, thank you as well for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. I appreciate that generosity so much. Camera frozen? What the fuck? My camera is frozen. What the fuck is going on? Hold on. I like edit. Hold on, let me look at this shit. Oh, bother. All right. So I think I've identified what happened. I think. Hi, Z. Hi, baby. Everybody say hello to my girlfriend. Um, I'm pretty sure what has happened is a problem that has not gripped us for a very long time in this stream, which is that when I moved the camera around yesterday and was doing test shots of other angles, I think I left the camera on and drained the battery. So we're gonna see about that, but I can't. Ugh, but all of the chargers in this room suck ass, so how am I to guarantee that it's charging? All right, we're gonna be back in 1 second. I think the Gene, I'm sorry to say this, I think the TikTok stream has to die such that the other streams can live, because the TikTok stream uses my backup camera. So we're going to close the TikTok stream. If you're on TikTok and you want to see this stream, please head to Twitch, because we're going to be closing it so that I can use the camera I'm using for it on Twitch until my primary camera finishes recharging. Okay, now that there we go. There we go. And now I think we just have to flip me. I said flip me. Thank you. And we have to adjust the aspect ratio a little tiny bit. All right, that's fine. And then we have to do, I think, the same thing for the vertical scene. No, I clicked the wrong button. It was a misinput. Fuck you. I've never done anything wrong in my life. Fuck you. There we go. All right. It's all fixed. Aegis Athene, thank you for the 50-bit cheer, my friend. Boss, 5-hour energy kicked in. Incidentally, that's how long you have left with a recognizable hairline. I should ban you. I should ban you on the spot. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go drop the camera off with Z to see if they can find a charger for this, and then we will hopefully have main cam back by the end of stream. Okay, gang. Mauled, you could always cosplay as Vegeta. I am not yet buff or angry enough. I will be one day, but not yet. So why is Mauled in the site of one of Dexter's murders today? It is for the subathon. I cannot reveal why yet, but it is important and necessary for the subathon. Okay, then Deja Mu, thank you for the Prime sub. That name's pretty fucking funny. Welcome to the dog home. And then Anthem of the World, thank you for gifting a sub to my girlfriend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. Do you use NVIDIA Broadcast for your streams? I use it for work, and it gives your camera a lot of punch. No, all I use is base OBS Army Hitch. Maul's gonna use the Dragon Balls to wish himself a proper hairline. That probably is what I would use them for. Quite frankly. And in fact, if somebody else had collected the Dragon Balls in order to like heal a sick family member or end world suffering or something like that, I would rob them and take the Dragon Balls, and I would just move everything up like ½ inch or something. You wouldn't fix your back first, boss? No. No, I genuinely think if I had the magical ability to correct a thing about my body, what would begin to compete with changing my hairline would be curing my body of all chronic pain. If I could do, because my back hurts all the time, most of my body hurts all the time. I have and you can talk about how, oh, like the entire body is connected and fixing your back would fix other stuff. in terms of its discrete magical effect, just tapping a part of my body and making that not bad anymore, I've learned mostly how to live with my back. And the things I do to care for my back are generally good for me. Like, having a bad back has kind of taught me positive behaviors. Having a shitty hairline has not taught me a single goddamn thing other than rage, which has been somewhat useful in creating my TikTok account. So if I could snap away all of my chronic pain, I would do that. If I could choose between snapping away or Dragon Balling away like my back pain, okay, how's that? Shout out my mic for being a paid actor and reinforcing the necessity of the subathon. Um, okay, thank you, Ishtar's Donut. Baked Beeble, thank you for the $2 super chat. I think anyone who can should run Eureka in a deck. Let me look at that card. No, no, they shouldn't actually, Beeble, and I think you should be punished, dare I say persecuted for this belief. I, hmm. Now, what this could be funny as is if this was like a Mario Party effect that could hit a table when you did not know it was coming, like you could not plan for this, then I begin to support this stream. But no, you should not. You should not run this in your decks. No, you shouldn't. Get your tempting worm head ass out of here. Oh, that's pretty cool, Hitch. Oh fuck, I closed the stream chat they were in. So, okay. So then for people in YouTube vertical chat, YouTube's not vertical now. We still have the horizontal stream. You can still go to that horizontal stream. And in fact, you can come to the Twitch stream on top of that. The vertical stream is just because it is literally the single best notification system I have access to. I've only been doing it for maybe like a week or two at this point, and it is genuinely fucked up how much better putting a vertical stream into the doom scrolling algorithm is for letting people know that I'm live than like Discord, Twitch notifications, normal YouTube notifications. Does not matter. It is all inferior to putting a vertical YouTube stream live, but I am live on horizontal platform. So if you want to walk on the wide side, be able to pause, be able to see your chat on screen, all that stuff, you still can. Drivetrain, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey now, don't feel bad, boss. You only have 100 rabbits holding hands and walking backwards, you know? A receding hairline. Drivetrain, that was just excellent. It is gonna look like you're being banned from the stream. Yeah, there's that button. There's that ban button. Thank you, Drivetrain. I hope it was worth it. Ghosty Pepperson and Crowstall, thank you all for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. There's, ooh, this is a good one. Here's a rant from Gertlocker. Land ramp from deck, e.g. rampant growth, cultivate, etc., are tutors and don't belong in brackets. I'm presuming that you meant bracket 2 and bracket 3, since these are the brackets that have like any type of restriction about about numbers of tutors you have. You are wrong, but I do agree with you a little bit as a land hater. Where I draw the line personally is when we go non-basic land. These tutors have been good for the entire history of Magic, and they are only going to get better because non-basic lands continue to get more and more powerful because Wizards have realized lands that only tap for mana and can screw you and flood you suck. So in bracket 2, I'm with you on Sylvan Scrying. I'm obviously with you on Crop Rotation, which is already a game changer. I'm with you on Archdruid's Charm. I am not with you on Mana Growth. I hate green. I hate green quite a lot. Being like rampant growth, fucked up for bracket 2. That is a little hardcore even for me. Ignis Eternus, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. Because inevitably where you go and you start talking about like basic land tutors as antithetical to the bracket system, at some point you have to ban stock up. And this sounds like I'm rage baiting. I am only rage baiting like 10%. Because when you talk about, oh, we should get rid of basic land tutors for spirit of the format reasons, which is like, Commander, you are not supposed to tutor. You just get what you get and you don't throw a fit. If we compare the card draw and the card draw engines that we have today to the card draw engines when they came up with that spirit of the format, the average Commander deck's ability to draw cards is so much better than it was 10, 20 years ago that we're basically soft tutoring compared to what OG Commander decks were doing. Like, go look at the original precons, go look at like the casual lists people were playing in like 2007 before this was a supported format. Outside of combo engine things like Necropotence, the amount of cards you touch just passively in Commander games now is so high that we are soft tutoring compared to the old decks, statistically. And so that's kind of what I always fall back to when people bring up the like, well, ramp, I hate ramp because mana is too good, not because it's tutoring. There's a difference. So when people come down on basic land tutoring in the form of ramp spells, I just think about like, well, the natural, not even the slippery slope, the argument holding hands with that argument is your decks also should not run card draw, your deck should also not run card selection, etc., etc. And if you feel that way, I just disagree about the type of game I want to play with you, but I do think it's totally valid to house rule that stuff. We're doing a podcast episode on house rules for the Good Time Boys later today, and one of the house rules we looked at, or that I looked at, somebody suggested was called Top Deck Commander, where you cannot draw additional cards. Like effects that say draw additional cards just don't do anything. Effects that say check the top whatever of your deck don't do anything. You get one card at the start of your turn, and I think they had something to like supply mana for you, kind of Hearthstone style, and that seems like the type of commander that you would like to play, which is real. I get that. I get wanting a different play pattern than what the fucking Ixalan precons have for you. We also have to hit the manual ad break real quick, so I'm gonna blast all the Twitch viewers with that. If you're on Twitch, prepare thyselves. You are going to get hit with like 3 straight minutes of ads, but this is so that we can get an hour of straight content without being interrupted. So stretch, get some water, get some treats. I'll see you in a moment. Yes, Vanilla Bean Boy. The reason you probably don't know I have a podcast is because I don't advertise. I don't advertise the podcast. I don't advertise basically like anything I do very well. The podcast is also hosted through Decked Out because they are the ones who are like doing it's Good Time Boys. Thank you, YouTube algorithm. This is the podcast that I am a part of. I think it comes out weekly. I just show up and yap. And so that's why it's not hosted on my channels, because I'm not doing the editing. I am not coming up with, well, I came up with the topic for today, but I rarely come up with the topics. If and when we invite guests on the show, I do not coordinate the guests or anything like that. So I don't talk about it often. But yeah, go watch it, and particularly watch it on Spotify. My agents have been talking to me a lot about Spotify for some goddamn reason. Then let me scroll back through all these redeems I missed. So I got 3 drink waters that I missed. We have a personal question from Alec Man, a random FMK, a rant from White Bread, and then another personal question from Wolf Slays. So we will start in chronological order. From Alec Man. How do Jund? How do Jund? This is a more mechanical question than anything else. It's a fair bit like Grixis for me because I just don't get Jund, which is weird because I love other color combos with Golgari and their color identity, but I have a harder time understanding Jund. I think the trick here is you don't need to understand Jund. Understanding things like guilds and wedges and shards and their individual flavors and identities was a lot easier before we had homogenized 95% of this game via power creep. And that's just a natural process. Henzi's a very good commander for understanding what Jund wants to do, but it's mostly about, hey, I'm going to play some permanents. Hey, they might not be here forever. They might die. They might bounce to hand. I might sacrifice them. I'm probably going to get some type of advantage from those permanents. That's Jund. And if you go, oh, well, that's far too broad for me to derive any real depth of feeling from, that's modern Magic. It's just not that deep anymore. All the colors can draw cards. Most of the colors can sacrifice stuff. Most of the colors can cheat stuff out. Like, we've just had, the game has had to get so broad that there's really not this, like, there is not this beautiful mind level of nuance to all the different color combinations. Henzi is about how fleeting life is and how fucking hard I'm gonna hit you with an ant. And then random FMK from Silver Gravity. Captain Guardsman, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. Realized I had YouTube chats closed. I'm sorry about that, YouTube. I'm doing good, Manasplained. How are you doing? Zdravo, Rowan. Alright, random FMK time. Kill. Smash. Better than Garuk. This is not a creature, technically. Fuck you. Who's above marrying the homies? Who's above marrying the homies? Marry. Yeah. Easy. On top. Boo? Don't boo me. You know I'm right. Fuck that guy. Except not. Kill that guy. And then rant from White Bread. What do you think of mono-colored, non-basic lands that have land types and how powerful they might be because of fetchability, e.g. Mystic Sanctuary? I think you got to be careful. I think it's fucked up. I think it's a little bit stupid, but I think in many more ways it's not stupid at all because this is just... They did this a long time ago, obviously, but they keep doing this where they are trying to confront the issue of having your lands in the same deck as your non-lands causes 90% of the suffering in Magic the Gathering. Like, we want some degree of variance, but too much variance, and we're all extremely sad because very few people want to engage with the game at the statistical depth necessary to build a deck that's just always going to hum. And so I like cards like Mystic Sanctuary when they're done well. I dislike cards like Mystic Sanctuary when anybody uses them against me, because then they're bullshit power creep and I hate them. Personal question from Wolf Slays. Who is the best true group hug commander to you? Wolf, that question has no answer because true group hug has a different meaning to everybody, and everybody who isn't me is wrong about what it means. Some people, when they hear true group hug, they hear, I want a commander that isn't going to try to win the game at all. I am just going to inject gas into everybody else. And that would never be a best commander for me because I think that play pattern sucks ass. So my true group hug is probably Bumbleflower because I align very closely with Spice 8 Rack on my idea about what group hug should be. You should be giving out distinct and discrete amounts of advantage to individual players rather than just pouring meth onto the table, and you should be able to stop that advantage whenever you want. And so I like group hug for that. But yeah, the usage of true is throwing me there. Then personal question from Baconator. Hey, I've been having trouble building a deck that doesn't work only around the combat step. Do you have recommendations for a deck? If you truly can't, if you truly cannot find a way that doesn't involve the combat step, you are choosing to not use commanders that leverage damage outside of the combat step. Grixis has, I mean, black plus any color. Black plus any color has 100 different combinations of commanders that will throw around damage outside of the combat step. Just pick one of those and build around the commander. Hell yeah, Chugbaka, thank you. And thank you for coming by the stream with that very, very dope name. We have a random smasher pass from Darkened Auras. You can do VV too, but I typically don't recommend VV if you are new to Izzet, because VV is so powerful you will immediately give yourself a persecution complex. If you've played Izzet before, and you know how strong Izzet is, yeah, go nuts, play a high power VV deck. If you have not played Izzet before, and you're going, oh, this commander is so cute and looks kind of strong, I'll have some fun with them. You are going to feel bullied when the table kills you with hammers, but you deserve to be killed with hammers because VV is one of the best cards ever. Then, yes, random smasher pass. Smash. Smash. Love a businesswoman. Personal question from Motive Matthew. Hey Mauled, you've talked about power creep and how the game has changed. Some other TCGs made retrains, which are modern designs of old cards or characters. Is there an older legend that is a bit too slow or expensive now that you'd like to see a similar retrain of? Magic already does this sometimes already. Not really, because for all of the power creep that has happened in Magic, I think Magic has crept one of the best. What I mean by that is that all of the individual Lego pieces that make up Magic the Gathering have a much easier time continuing to coalesce into something usable when it comes to an overall commander deck. Oh, true, never mind, Thraxamundar. I'm wrong as fuck. Justice for my fucking boy. Justice for my unplayable dogshit guy. My fault. Pitt, I have never streamed on Drip Shop once, and I am probably not ever going to. For sure, Oinker. Thank you for coming by the stream. And then from Good Girl Zoria, on a related note, what is your favorite utility land? I don't... None. None. I hate lands, bro. I'm dropping lands out of spite, dog. I'm dropping it because I have to. I'm dropping lands to avoid a fucking fine, not because I want to use any of their abilities. What is the order for today? So technically, the order that I have in front of me is Exotic Show, VMG, Oliver Hunsinger, and Starry Eyes. Now, I have not seen Exotic Show yet. I have not seen VMG yet. I've only seen Vanilla Bean Boy and Starry Eyes. And if any of you have scheduling problems, we can definitely move you up, depending on, okay, Exotic Show is here, never mind, get fucked. But if anybody has scheduling problems, we can just have a conversation together about who needs to leave the stream by when. Oh, my bad, I meant Whatnot. Understood, Pit King. I don't know if ever the Whatnot makes much less money and is much less fun to stream than every other way I can stream. And so it probably will not happen unless Whatnot approaches me with some type of like promotional deal to do a stream with them. Because the yeah, I think the two Whatnot streams I did with Z previously, it was fun to do it with Z. And I think they were net zero. Like, I think they, at the end of it all, did not cost me money. But I think we did the stream and then spent like 2 straight days packing things up and sending out all of the things people had ordered to make like $4 or something. And it also took a bunch of time that I could have spent working on other content that I would have liked more than packing the orders and would have made actual money. Yeah, Muffins, I think Whatnot is only interesting if you have a hookup to get product at yes, Z, I know we had bad packing timing and we did a lot of giveaways, but are we gonna like not do giveaways? Are we gonna, if we did it again, are we gonna not do giveaways? We love the raffle meta, baby. So probably will not happen unless we have some type of like distributor level hookup for product. Or I'll tell you this, if I ever get good enough, if I ever become good enough at playing Magic the Gathering Arena that I can like go positive on my gem economy and then I like win boxes out of the Arena Direct, probably would do a whatnot stream with those packs. But if it's like, if it's we go to an LGS, we pay market price for a box of whatever, and then we go on Whatnot and stream that and sell all of that, it's like we're taking time to not film shorts. Z's taking time to not film shorts. My long forms get published slower, all to tread water financially. Bat Drago, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the Doghouse. And thank you, Mysterious MMR. Then we have a rant from M18 Hellcat. What was the biggest mistake in Magic history? Could be a keyword, a card, an archetype, etc. Planeswalkers. This is my answer every time. My answer every time. Fucking Planeswalkers. If I could go back in time and change one thing about the course of history, it's not Black Lotus. It's not Universes Beyond. It's not Magic 30. It's fucking Planeswalkers as a card type. Fuck them. Emblems are fine. Emblems are fine. It's Planeswalkers as a vehicle for emblems. I'm killing Planeswalkers over Sol Ring. Sol Ring, I think, is at least valuable as a purity test for the player. Like if you if you want to live in the Sol Ring meta, I know all I need to know about you. Planeswalkers just shouldn't be allowed to tempt people in general. B Brew, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home. Reserve list, does that count? I personally don't care about the reserve list because I just don't engage with the game financially at all. Like I don't know. All cards are 25 cents. Or, the cost of printer paper. Like there's yeah, I really just don't think I just don't think about the like financials of this game other than, oh, well, it's too expensive for me to spend money on regularly. Zoria, I have no idea. We gotta get you a deal with a paper stock company. And then am I missing anything else? We have one more FMK from Flimsy Chair, and then Exotic Show. Are you good to go after that? Because then we will just get into the deck roasting for the day. Called Dunder Mifflin. Oh, that's gonna be a hard pass. That's gonna be a hard pass. Ed Matjor, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Can you please explain why Planeswalkers are that overpowered? I mean, they're a strong card type, but I think your take will have more nuance. I'm gonna hold off on answering that at length until we're in the vamp timer between the next roast, because we do have to get into the content for today. That said, Planeswalkers are not that overpowered. They are that over annoying. There's a distinction there. There are some that are very, very powerful. Most of them just simply suck. And every play pattern I have ever, like, we will answer it all right now. I'm not going to debate you or anybody on the game design theory of Planeswalkers. Every single time I have seen a Planeswalker resolved, whether I have done it or somebody else has done it, it has created a play pattern I dislike. Elikman, so you said that if you're ever ahead on board or in a state where you can protect a walker on board, you instantly win and there's nothing your opponents can do about it. Correct? How is that different from cards like Craterhoof? Comes down and instantly wins. So Planeswalkers do not instantly win. Planeswalkers instantly create a situation where you have inevitably won without ending the game. That is what is stupid about them. Many planeswalkers, like all the planeswalkers, are either dog shit, or if you play them in a situation where you can reasonably protect them, they immediately create a situation where you are fucking Thanos. You are inevitable, and you are going to shit so much advantage that the game is just cooked, but you're not actually going to bring it to a concise conclusion. We're going to drag it out for like 45 more minutes. Versus Craterhoof is, you did the setup, you have won the game, we are going to the next game. Even like Planeswalkers are even more arduous to a game's timeline than a Spellslinger turn. Even a Spellslinger turn is like a one-time 10-minute extension if the pilot is reasonable, and then the game's still over. Versus fucking... Ugh, I hate them. Oh, maybe the Streamlabs bots are off. Hold on. Let me go wake up these goddamn clankers, tell them to do their job. That's strange. Cloudbot says it's on. That's crazy. Hold on. We're gonna turn Cloudbot off and then back on. Did I change the... No, I still have the command available. That's weird. Okay. Turn it off, then on again. Hey, what's up, Ohi? Welcome to the stream. Iro on Discord, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. And then I need to... Alright, I need to double check Exotic Show said they were ready to go, and then we can get into their deck for the day. I am ready. Perfect. I'm at work and maybe a bit distant, but I am here. Okay, perfect. So I will not hold up individual burns to hear your response. Brandilio, not really. Time, those fall under like dog shit cards that I don't really care about, which is why I differentiated. They're either not worth a damn or are the ones that I hate. Okay, Exotic Show has sent in a spooky deck. This fuck-ass deck was created by a friend named Iron Doggo. I underestimated it when he first created it, and for now, it is a monster in our pod. I am unfortunately envious of it, and I want to hear your thoughts on this Graveyard Weenies deck. Oh, Lord. I hate a motherfucker. Oh, I have to set the YouTube thing live. Hold on. We have a commander roast that I have to pop open. I'm so sorry, Exotic Show. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at my job. Horrendous. Okay. Public. Thank you. Public. Thank you. Goth GF hates Mondays. Oh my god, it's a fucking Amalia deck, and it's $1,000 fucking dollars with 32 lands. I mean, okay. Our commander's 2 mana. This could be on some head-ass Luris companion behavior. Okay, we're back for the 3rd time. Thank you, Mike, for reasserting my need to purchase additional streaming equipment. Daniel, how about you go fuck yourself, man? Okay, anyway. This fuck-ass deck was created by a friend named Iron Doggo. I underestimated it when he first created it, and for now, it's a monster in our pod. I am unfortunately envious on it, and I want to hear your thoughts on this Graveyard Weenies deck. Oh, it is fucking Luris. God damn it. I simply would not get folded. I simply would not get folded by the deck that appears to be literal laundry. We have a body pillow with a dress on. Just hit them with the fucking rest in peace, dog. Okay. So their draw, 7. Very, very little. They can Skull Clamp. They can Vamp Rights. Oh, they have Bob. God bless him. Oh, and they have the best card draw in the game. Okay. Their card draw is pretty bad, but they can replay it all from the graveyard. $32 lands is low, but this curve does appear to be limboing. Oh, they have graveyard hate. They have graveyard hate, but apparently we've never heard of it. Static prison. Okay, so this they can reuse as well. Swords to Plowshares, a Cursed Marauder. So they have a little bit of hater fuel, and presumably all of their hater fuel and everything in their deck can just get reused. I mean, not even get Bojuka bogged. What happens if, like, Luris gets shot? Oh, it's a fucking life gain deck too? Most #1 shootable deck in the entire world. Holy fuck. So we have Blood Artist. Are we on combos? Is that what's making this good? So we have a lot of Soul Sisters effects to let us explore Amalia. Life gain payoff. Another removal engine. A fuck ass, shit ass planeswalker. I forgot to plug my other light in. Target creature gains lifelink whenever you get. This is listed. This draft uncommon is listed as our life gain payoff. Veto very much at home. Veto in his mother's basement is our life gain payoff. We have a few protection pieces, and we have some sack outlets, and then we have not real stacks, but we have some stuff. The no reason Kataki too. Holy shit. Recursion. Okay, so they at least do have an answer for what happens if I shoot the dog. Spellbreaker, you're not crazy. I think the resiliency of this deck has been dramatically oversold, and like more so than Luris, I think this deck folds hard to a ghost vacuum. This deck folds hard to fucking a 3-mana rock, brother. We just have to point at them and be like, oh hey, that thing you just sacrificed, you're gonna replay on your next turn? No. No. Scavenging, I mean, there's a million. Like, I do understand the argument of like, hey, it's casual, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to bring too many silver bullets, my brother in Christ, they contract the lycanthropy willingly. They are snarling at you willingly. They have put their this deck, they have placed their balls inside the thresher and said, I know you won't do it, Mr. Bond. I know you're too good of a man to blend my ball, and you just have to hit the pulses, okay? Like, this is peak high school bully who bullies the debate club because he knows none of them will beat him the fuck up. They have run screaming and crying into the werewolf horde and run back out of the werewolf horde saying, do it, you won't, and you won't. I usually try to out-engine this deck. That's where I fail. Yeah, because that's not how you play Magic the Gathering. I just really don't like bringing a gun to a fist fight. So do you accuse them of bringing a gun to a fist fight when they cast Damn on your creature? Because there's a big difference. There is a very, very big difference between I bring Honored Heirloom, which is a usable part of a commander deck, and interacts with the thing their deck is doing, versus I bring 8 illegal copies of Rest in Peace, which serves no purpose in my deck other than to stop their deck. And like, they are... like, the reason I'm trying to impress this upon you in a way to free you of whatever ghost of Christmas past is trying to is preventing you from interacting with it in a realistic way. Because the reason Wizards printed cards like Rest in Peace and they printed cards like Stigma Lasher is because you cannot always out-engine the other person. Like, they are... This is... I don't think it's on purpose. This deck is a form of angle shooting in terms of how it's presenting in your pod right now, where you are all, like, too kind to hit it. Like, if we don't want to do the cock and ball torture analogies, this is the video game enemy with a massive flashing red weak spot, and all of you are going like, oh, well, it would be kind of rude to hit them in the weak spot. But because they have a weak spot, they get to also have a battle mech and like nukes on their arms. And so they are getting this like massive unearned power up because they have made this incredibly easy way to interact with them, or even to interact with them in like one-off methods. This is a stepwise process, right? One of the rudest things you could do to this deck is do Stigma Lasher, because it says Stigma Balls, rest of the game, you're fucked. Another thing you can do is just an effect that says players can't gain life while this permanent is on the battlefield. That just forces them to interact with the permanent that is causing them trouble. They have no problem playing permanents that are causing you trouble. Right? They have no trouble. They're fogging you every turn. They're not in combat once a turn. Yeah, like we gotta. I think this is okay. So this is not even a deck review. This is therapy for you. It's okay. It is okay to hit the boss enemy in the big red glowing weak spot. It is okay. This person might be sad, but they are the ones who have put their whole fucking arm shoulder deep into the cookie jar. This is like Aesop's Fables levels of this motherfucker has it coming. And you can't participate. Like, genuinely, I'm a big fan of playing for fun rather than playing to win. When you let somebody exploit a social glitch like this, you slowly degrade the fun of your pod. Because entire avenues of competing in this game are now being cut off from you. So, like, the first time you do it, they're gonna go like, oh man, that shuts down my whole deck. And it's like, that's genuinely not true. Cast Cathar Commander. Like, turn 2, I cast Rest in Peace. I did not shut down your whole deck. I shut down your deck until you cast any of the removal you have. I stall your deck until you use Sheltered by Ghosts or Cathar Commander or Static Prison on anything else, which is necessary because the trade-off they have made is their deck is going to be way faster at establishing a board state and way better at recovering from board wipes. This is a JJK binding vow. They have made the trade willingly. You must hold them to it. You cannot go, okay, well, I am going to have like Captain America levels of strength, and I'm going to get Spidey sense, but if anybody tickles me, I will explode, and then go into the tournament arc being like, how can I beat this man without tickling him? It's just, it's going to be hard enough to do it, even when you are competing with the entire game. What do you do when every deck a player makes is like this and constantly abuses people's kindness and not counterpicking? Importantly, this is not the person who submitted the roast. Curly, you fucking counterpick them. Not even counterpick. You have reasonable cards in your deck that stop these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know if this is going to be thought of as like a hot take or a salty take. I think if you are building your deck and you get to like 95 cards in and you go, huh, I don't really care about recurring cards from my graveyard at all, you should put Rest in Peace in. It is good and valid and healthy for your pod to put cards in your deck that cover you against in ways that are just one-sided advantage to you. Whether that is graveyard exile, whether that is bringing in like one-sided board wipes. Like if you have a deck of, yeah, I talk to him about it so often it's dreadful. Stop talking to him about it. Rest in peace, the motherfucker. Stigma lash the bitch. Like if you are, like look at 60 card Magic and decks running Screaming Nemesis. They're not doing this to be mean. They're doing this because they're trying to play the game, and the presence of life gain can totally fuck them. They are bringing cards in their deck to avoid being fucked. That is not being a hater. That is just not rolling over and letting the other person win for free. Let's see what this shit does. Alright. So we get a tapped land. Turn 2. Ripples of Undeath. Turn 3. I do a land. I can play my entire deck now. I can double spell my whole deck. If my pod wants to see the light leave each other's eyes, I'm down to clown. I usually don't build those decks. So there is an important thing we have to interrogate in that statement, Exotic Show, which is the idea that doing anything to resist the other deck stunting on you is making the light leave their eyes. They chose this. They chose the deck that completely fails to function in the presence of one of the most common hate effects in the game. That's not you making the light leave their eyes. That's you going, well, Danny, you can't stay up until 2 a.m. every day without being tired. And they're going like, but I don't want to be tired. I don't want to stay up all night. I need both. Like that is, I urge you to consider this as when somebody builds a deck that folds extremely quickly to one method of interaction and then mandates or even implies that the rest of the pod should not run that interaction because it would be rude. They are not asking to have a fun time. They are asking to be let win. They're asking you to let them win. That is not a reasonable expectation to have of the fun game that is still competitive. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. At least run shit like Hollowed Moonlight that does multiple decks dirty. Tormod's Crypt is free, god damn it. Well, it does sound like they did mention they run one-offs. It just sounds like it's not enough when the deck is based entirely around something like this. They don't hate when I play those cards. I just feel bad because I need therapy. Okay, yeah, Exotic, you gotta free yourself right now. They're trying to engage in a game that you are refusing to engage in. It's okay. It is okay to win at Magic the Gathering. We can re-say those words as many times as you need in as many different ways as you need. It is okay to win a game of Magic the Gathering. It is okay to see somebody else angling to kickflip your nutsack and trip them. That's part of the fun. Trying to do the cool thing and having people resist it is, ooh, okay, maybe this will help you. Maybe this will help you. If they want to do a cool thing, or like when I have decks that want to do a cool thing but are countered easily, maybe not easily, but are fragile to a certain type of thing. A good example is my VV deck. Now, of course, I couch this behind the cope of like, oh, it's VV Stompy, so it's bracket 3 instead of bracket 4. It's very, very fun. The point is, what I really want to do is I want to get a really big VV, and I want to spend it on outrageously expensive stuff. I put a lot of counter spells and protection in this deck to make sure I can fight my way through interaction to do that. And if people just let me do that, it is genuinely less fun for me. A lot of people, when they are building decks, they want their decks to overcome difficulty. The conflict of having to defeat somebody else's attempts to shut you down is an extremely satisfying portion of the game. And you are not only robbing yourself of joy by not allowing yourself to engage in the game fully, you are robbing them of the joy of a win that they have earned. Many people enjoy working for the win. They enjoy working for the win in methods that are more complicated than just, I ramped harder than you. My thing was bigger than your thing. Like nothing makes me less interested than a game where we just went like, we spent 6 turns building up our own stuff, and then my machine was bigger than yours at the end. We could have just played war. We could have just flipped cards off the top of our deck and said like, oh, whoever gets the higher total power in 10 turns wins. Like, not only will you have more fun if you begin engaging more actively, they will have more fun. So maybe try to see if your brain will accept that justification, because I do understand the struggle you're going through, and the best way, the most concise way I can put it to you is Goku wants you to hit back. Goku wants you to hit back. They don't want to have a fight where you walk up and go, hit me as hard as you can, and then you get sent across the arena and lose, and then you hit them back and you didn't hit as hard, and so now it's not fun anymore. They want a battle. How about you go fuck yourself, dog? That's a different thing. Someone was being anti-Semitic in the YouTube chat. That's a different thing. Fuck that guy. Fucking dumbass. So this is, I mean, if we continue through the playtest, like Ripples of Undeath, stroke of genius. Because as soon as we get 3 lands, this is just an extra card drawn every turn. And we can go, hey, look at that. Dusk Legion Zealot. Draw a card, lose a life. Next turn, 1, 2, 3. I'll pay to like get, at this point, right? I'm just ripping it up. I'll pay to get an extra thing back, and I will savior into Amalia. I haven't gained any life, and this is probably, I haven't gained any life. I don't have a particularly compelling engine going, but I have a full hand, and in my hand is a life gain engine. Like, this is all super fucking strong. Do I even have the... Oh, and if I was worried about removal, I would have had the answer to this graveyard hate in the current runout. If it's a creature-based thing, I would have had the answer to this graveyard hate in the current runout. Like, this is a well-built deck. This is a well-built deck that has made a JJK binding vow to be extremely vulnerable in certain areas, to be extremely strong in other areas. Why are we getting brigaded by anti-Semitic weirdos today? This is the 3rd one in like an hour. Trump must be doing something today. Trump must be doing some weird shit today, and they got the bots active. Mangio, I don't know, because it's, again, I think so. It's less than 1% of the YouTube. Oh, yeah, it could just one guy with a bunch of YouTube accounts. Racists are very much like that. It's not the same person. Azamar, it's happening in Vert. It's the like doom scroll YouTube chat, and so there are Exotic Show, you did not miss a question. You just missed like 10 minutes of bars about how you don't need to feel bad for countering this deck, and it will make both of you happier. Allegations, I actually don't know. I think Ripples is one of the few effects that actually gets around Graveyard Exile, because it's not checking the zone they went to. It's not checking the zone they went to, but I'm not positive on that. I know a medium amount about MTG rules to begin with. There are no rulings, so oh, it works. Yeah, that's fucked up. So like the best card in their deck gets around all the good graveyard hate in the first place. So Show, you just gotta run the silver bullets. There might be some silver bullets. Long story short, bring a few guns and grow a spine. I urge you to listen back to it, because I put it in a lot of ways that I feel like are I think I managed to put it in a way that is going to resonate with you much better than grow a spine. I think that is the type of feedback that I mean, maybe you do need to hear it. I don't know enough about your personal life, but I don't think you need to. I would not think of it in a way of like, I just gotta be mean or big and strong, any type of typical toxic masculinity type adjective. You don't need that. What I'm urging you to consider is the ways in which doing this is in fact not mean and raises the enjoyment of the game. So yeah, rather than grow a spine, I would urge you to meditate on the situations that you have been through in your life that are making you feel like this would be mean. I think there's parts of it that are intuitive, and I think there are parts of it that are probably like, maybe you hurt a friend, or a friend hurt you, or something happened with your parents when they were teaching you a game that drilled this in as like an unacceptable thing for you to do. There's probably something there. And I think it's wrapped up in a lot of wanting your friends to have fun, which is a very good and healthy thing. You want your friends to have fun in a good way. You want the games to be enjoyable. These are all great things. And so is exiling this dumb motherfucker's graveyard for daring to rock up with this shit ass mana curve that's not tall enough to ride a Disneyland roller coaster ass deck. Get that crap out of there. Get that crap out of there, man. Okay, this has to be one guy with like a million different accounts, because the moment, or like moments after we banned the last guy, a new guy came in chirping about the exact same thing and like picked up the conversation from the exact same talking point. So we're just gonna start reporting all these accounts as well. I'm also the guy that's bringing Homura to the table, the slowest aggressive deck I've ever seen. Exotic, I just want you to know, I think you already do, but if you don't yet, you are going to have friends who cheer when you win too. I believe in you, buddy. Homura is my guy, though, by the way. That attempted soul raid aside, Homura is my fucking guy. This guy does rock. This guy does rock. I understand the vision. Holy shit, do you gotta do something to this, man. You deserve some of Madra's custom clerics to deal with this deck. We just want to see you win, dog. We just want to see you win, I promise. Siren, I couldn't possibly know that without having $69 in my hand right now. And nothing's really wrong with you because I like doing the same thing. Okay, and then we had... Oh, Madra asked a question about paying for their Ko-Fi slots ahead of time. Please do not do that. To everybody watching in... Oh, let's put you on the pyramid, and then we'll handle this in the vamp time. So, Exotic, we're going to do something weird because this is not your particular deck, and we were in fact kind of roasting you through it. I'm going to say this is where you are allowing this deck to live. This is where the deck needs to go. And if they are able to escape the chamber, good for them. If they're able to escape the chamber, hell yeah, I'll clap for them too. What's a unique way to burn away graveyards you find fun? I mean, honestly, the funniest thing for me is Honored Heirloom. That shit always has me laughing. One of my favorite way to burn away graveyards, you're going to have a hard time because you're in fucking red, but one of my favorite ways to do it is through theft cards. Fuck graveyard hate, dog. I'm reanimating your stupid dog. I am reanimating your spirited companion. You will not be casting him. And that's a much easier thing to do in Sultai. Sometimes Izzet can do it if they're doing instants and sorceries. Ghost Vacuum is fun, as Legolas pointed out. But there's a lot. I would recommend just going exile, a card, graveyard in the colors you care about. And so if we're in red, what options do we have? This is our graveyard. This is our graveyard. Ooh, Agatha's Soul Cauldron could be kind of funny. This is going to... So Universal Graveyard Hate. This will grow your creatures. And if they ever play anything with an activated ability, boom, you get it. That's pretty fun. Direfleet Daredevil is one of the first things I was thinking of for red theft, but again, that is limited to instants and sorceries. Nautiloid Ship is funny as fuck. Holy God. Holy God, do I love the bimbofication wagon. Canoptic can be decent. Pit of Offerings, also really good for catching your own fixing. But again, that depends on the type of deck you're in. I love unlicensed hearse too. I love crashing this fucking car into somebody. Because this is a problem like 3 turns later. 3 turns is a fucking problem. I realize it doesn't have trample, and so all of the fucking green propagandists are going to sleep on it. But turn it comes down, boom, 2-2. All right. Next turn, 4-4. Ooh, a little scary. Next turn, 6-6. Somebody got to deal with that. Somebody got to deal with that. Cemetery Gatekeeper's kind of funny. You can steal their legendaries with the Animus. You got a million. You got a million things. There's a lot of good options. A lot of good options for you. We're going to go to the manual ad break. I wish you the best of luck shoving your friend into the penis explosion chamber. Thank you very much for submitting. I hope you enjoyed. We're in the 3-minute ad break. All right, now we need to address Madra's question. So Madra asked, is it okay if I pay for my custom card review slots ahead of time? I'm going to say, please, please, please do not, for a very specific reason, which is that Exotic Show is gifting 5 subs. Thank you so much, Exotic Show. Welcome back to Dog Heaven. Which is that we're going to be streaming with Z. We're going to try to keep an orderly queue. We are going to be selling all of the card commissions via Ko-Fi, and we're going to be selling a very discrete number at a time. So I do not want to be promising any slots ahead of time. I think that's going to make it a really big headache to keep track of. And so we're hopefully going to get through a lot more cards tomorrow than we got through last week, because we're going to be going for like 1 to 2 hours longer. Tomorrow's also going to be when we're starting the subathon, and all of the money you spend on the custom card reviews is going to count for the subathon as well. We're still going to have the point redeem ones, so it's not going to be money only, but the money that you spend on Ko-Fi is going to go towards the subathon timer. So there's already going to be way more moving parts than normal on a stream, and we're going to be kicking off. Tomorrow's stream is going to go till 8 p.m. I don't think we'll be able to do custom cards until 8 p.m. I think the custom card review is going to go until like 4 p.m. or so, and then we'll switch over to XCOM, MTGA Brawl, something like that. But yeah, just too much logistical headache. Torkeen, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate you. Marty, no, but I will lock that down tonight. Elk will not be there this week, Lady Lockwood, but we are going to be continuing custom card streams throughout the subathon if it is able to continue, because it's going to be uncapped. So there's very much a possibility that we will just make it to next week and the subathon will still be going. And I'm going to try to get more rotating guests to do custom card reviews. Dragons, my birthday was yesterday. So we thought about starting the subathon then, but Z has really helped pull this together on extremely late notice, and Tuesday was just cutting it even too close. Bad Bros, it's unlikely I do Long War for XCOM 1, but I might do it for XCOM 2. It really, a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing for the subathon, I have a ton of things planned. We have like 2 different whiteboards that just have calendar shit on them. So I have a ton of stuff planned. Some of it, after a certain point, is just going to be ad hoc. What do people like watching for that long? Matthew, yes, there is a correlation for Dog Heaven, Dog Home, Dog Pile. Sometimes I get it wrong, particularly if I haven't slept well or if I've been streaming for a long time that day. The Dog House is following on Twitch. The Dog Home is subscribing on Twitch. The Dog Pile is donating bits, which is how you can be at the top of the dog pile by being the highest bit cheerer. And dog heaven is gifting subs to other people. Taming Plebeians, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. And Jester the Clown. Jared, fade away is okay if it has to be at common, but oh geez. I mean, good luck catching the other Pauper Commander players lacking, but you're going to need the luck. What's dog hell? Where I send you if you're anti-Semitic. Dog hell. No, actually, because then you're not even a dog. You're just a racist dickhead. Let's reorient this. Because the racists and the sexists and the misogynists and all that shit, those people just get banned silently. I think dog hell is where you go if I verbally say I'm banning you, and then that's dog hell. That's dog hell, and you can come back from dog hell and be redeemed, and it's fine. All those other people, they just get silently banned or told to go fuck themselves. Yeah, dog hell is being banned for the bit. Zyler on YouTube is asking, okay, there was a cheer I need to do first. I also had to reload vertical YouTube chat, so I'm sorry. I think I've been missing a number of your comments because after I banned the last guy, it borked the chat for a little bit. Hey, thank you all for the belated birthday wishes as well. Elikman, you only exist in dog limbo if you are not following or subscribed. Jester the Clown, thank you for the 310 bits. Hey, Mald, for Vamp Time, I was curious what your favorite episode of Psych is because it's been my favorite show since I was like 10, and hearing that it's your inspiration is awesome. I do not think I can pick a favorite. I love the episodes where Gus gets to be more comedically active, but other than that, so like I think it definitely gets better through the first couple seasons, which is where Z and I are in our rewatch right now. So I could not pick one favorite episode, but I do like it when Gus is given more of a chance to like hit back at Sean or have his own bits. Then we have Zorian. No, there's not anything I particularly want to see on a given custom card. Then Esper Veltman. Hey, Hound Guy, what are your thoughts on Cube Draft? Do you enjoy play often? I've done MTGO's Cube Draft a couple times. I've done Arena's various Cube Drafts a couple times. I think they're pretty fun. I've never built my own, but they're pretty fun. And then, all right, looking for the order VMG. Are you here? If VMG is not here, we are going to move on to Vanilla Bean Man, I believe was Oliver H's name. And then random Smasher Pass from Unholy Meat Obelisk, as well as a random FMK. Random Smasher Pass first. Smash, he looks fine. They're active, I like that. Random FMK. Kill. I guess I have to smash. I guess I'm marrying the creepy zombie cultist. That makes me unhappy. Elikman, for sure there is. I have no idea how big that limit is, though. Then, with the subathon on the horizon, I was wondering, Alec, man, I think it's also important to know we're probably still going to have limits per author because we're going to be streaming longer than normal, but it is not going to be an 8-hour custom card stream. And so we still very much want to, and like you guys resolutely proved that you can give me 12 hours of custom cards to review at one time. And so we cannot go back to uncapped. And then we will do Bigs, Dogs, Smasher Pass. Yes, I said it was uncapped, and then while I was actually looking at the scheduling, I immediately realized that I was a liar. We are smashing for sure. Because I said uncapped, and then I started thinking about, I like looked back at the timings of the last stream, and I was like, okay, well, if we did uncapped and we just kept accepting more and more, because we even like cut off submissions for that stream and then still had like 8 more hours of footage to get through. So the subathon itself is going to be uncapped, and I initially said the custom card review is going to be uncapped, and that was a goddamn lie upon checking my calendar one time. We will still have regular custom card reviews. We may even do them more often than once a week for subathon reasons, depending on how popular tomorrow's is. But yeah, we're just not going to be able to, we are not going to be able to handle uncapped. We're going to do this question for Mr. Miowski. Everything else is getting held until the other end of VMG's deck roast. I appreciate you all being so engaged, but I do have to actually talk about the things I was paid to talk about. Personal question from Mr. Miowski. With the subathon on the horizon, I was wondering, as a content creator, what is your end goal? What is your definition of success? I will answer the second part first. My definition of success is a little bit below where I already am. I have succeeded. I have been able to quit my job and support my current life off of saying funny shit on the internet. That is wild success. I have succeeded. My goal, fucking double down, baby. Not financially, but, and you are going to, we are going to see this as a, well, hopefully, depending on how successful the subathon is, we will see more and more of this. But I'm a very competitive person. I'm an extremely competitive person, and in content, it is extremely difficult to beat anyone else. It's not very useful as a metric to try to go like, oh, I'm getting more views than this person, that is winning. And so it incentivizes being really, really self-competitive. So my long-term goal, because I don't have a discrete end goal, my long-term goal is to do more entertaining things, create more compelling narratives, reach more people, convince more people to change their lives in positive ways, make people laugh more. I think involved with that, it is like, if I do that well, it is inevitable that I make more money. It is just like the way that AdSense accounts work. Right? If I hit that goal, I will make additional money. I still want it to stay very me, so I'm not saying I want to make content that perpetually gets more and more views, but I want to make content that is more and more fulfilling for me to make and lives up to my internal standard of entertainment. And I'm not that weird. So that will also likely translate to more and more views because I am not that much of a hipster. Alec, flip a coin. If you do not want to flip a coin, I will flip one right now. Stormcast. So I think like I have a list actually that will probably be getting revealed tomorrow. But I have a list of people that I want to work with that I've not been able to work with yet, or like I'm currently negotiating. Hey, could we do something to work together? But part of that is, what could I do with that person that is compelling rather than just like we're in a video together? Like, I think the difference between clout chasing and creating something that is really, really memorable is when you take people that have star power, or you take people that are very entertaining and very energetic to be around, and you craft a specific experience that is going to allow them to really show that off versus just putting their name in the title to have it in the title. Zoria, yes, I have read all of Discworld. I fucking love it. Post Malone's a little far out there, but you know, maybe. Maybe. There would definitely it would definitely be something like much more spectacle event focused. So I think like I've not done Commander at Home. I really just like, I do not have strong existing personal relationships with any of the people who run those shows, and I'm at the like I really don't want to be a bother, and so I don't want to be like, I don't want to message them and be like, hey, can you get me on the show? Hey, can you get me on the show? So yeah, I don't know if and or when I will ever get on Commander at Home or any of the other large gameplay channels again. Because they're like busy. They have presumably miles long lists of potential guests who are all going to be good. So haven't been on yet. Would love to be on. That is probably the one I feel weirdest about. Like all of the collaborations I currently want to do and I'm currently mentally focusing my energy on are me pitching an idea to someone else for a thing for us to do together that I think is good and interesting. I do not want to pitch people, hey, can we be in a video together? Because a ton of people ask me for that, and it can get quite annoying when people ask you for that and you go, maybe, yeah, what is your idea? And they go, I figured you would come up with that idea. That's kind of the worst thing ever. And so I think it is much more likely that I would come up with a different thing to have the Commander at Home cast do, or the like Command Zone cast do, that I then pitch to them as like, I will pay you to come film this with me as talent. This is a thing I think is compelling and funny. Do you also think it's compelling and funny? And then seeing how that landed, rather than being like, ooh, can I come be on the show and do my little dance? Because they have a bunch of people who are more than capable of handling that. All right, anyway, we got to get to fucking VMG's roast. I'm vamping way too close to the sun. VMG has sent in a spooky deck as well. Laura Croft sets out on a daring adventure to uncover lost treasures, but instead stumbles upon the ancient and terrifying Eldrazi. Alright, like 50-50 this is a deck, and 50-50 this is Rule 34. The goal is to cheat out massive Eldrazi, but the true flavor win, for me, comes from enchanting Laura with Eldrazi Conscription, or equipping her with World Slayer? Nah, what the fuck is wrong with you? What do you mean? What do you mean that's the flavor win? Why is the flavor poop? Alright, Laura Croft Tombland. How are you even doing this? So whenever she attacks, exile a legendary artifact or legendary land from a graveyard with a discovery counter, get the thing. At end of combat, if you attacked, make a treasure. So why is this under ramp? Why is this not? Taryn's freaking out about reach. Not noticing the food chain. It makes mana duh. My bad. My bad. All right, so VMG, I'm going to make you a personal deal. I'm going to scroll down, and if I see a squee, you are going to dog hell. Okay, I think we're safe. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I think this is just the... I'm banning you. I'm banning you. Where the fuck are you? What in the I heard these cards were good is going on in this section of the fucking deck? Fucking... Somebody fucking told me these were good cards. I found these in my older brother's deck, so I put them in mine. So we have... Oh, just like... all of our draw cards. Mystic Remora 2, holy fuck. All of our draw cards are just the most, like, generic staples imaginable. Fucking beautiful. Okay, so then how are we... Are we, like... We can't be food chaining the Scions, because they just sacrifice for mana anyway. Like, what the fuck are we... Are we, like, casting... Are we just food chaining random shit? Oh, good. Lurking Predator. I mean, at least that makes sense for an Eldrazi deck. Sneak attack as well. Defense of the Heart. Holy shit. So I just want to be so clear, VMG. The Lara Croft food, the flavor here is just made up, right? This is just Eldrazi and all the shit they bought at the mall. What bracket is this? Horrible. It looks bracket 3. That would be my guess. Yeah, the clanker is getting fucked up about it because it technically has mass land denial with whatever like internal Wattpad fanfic is going on here. But oh my lord. We world's most normal teamier like pig feed Eldrazi deck ever, and then we were like, damn, Lara Croft is hot though. Lara Croft is so hot. How am I to make this anything but an Eldrazi deck? But she's so fine though. Okay, so VMG, you've left me with the unique problem of like, all of your cards are good. Your premise is just god awful. Your premise hurts me in my soul. Like this could be... I think the premise is just it is connected to the deck because you wrote the sentence Lara Croft discovers Eldrazi, but this is a situation where the alleged flavor of the deck is not transmitted at all by the playing of the deck. I think the flavor of the deck translates through playing it as, this is my Eldrazi deck, and I had a really big crush on Lara Croft. So we have a shitload of land. Well, we have exploration, I guess. Yeah. We breed this pool, and then we drop that in. I guess we just drop this in. Let them know what's coming. Let them know what's fucking coming. Oh, I guess we wouldn't. We would have ordered this correctly to cast Lara Croft on turn 2. Fucking type shit, man. Fucking type shit. I was gonna say we're bricking, but it doesn't matter that we're fucking bricking because we have the Eye of Ugin. Oh no, we hit all lands. Who cares? I crank Eye of Ugin. I go get Kozilek. And then next turn, yeah. We Kozilek. We draw 4 cards. We got Ulamog. Hey, Baba fucking Booey, baby. How do you make this deck fit the flavor? Iron, if we wanted to take this deck into flavor surgery, what probably has to be done is trying to make the value engines feel more like Tomb Raider flavored. Like Rhystic Study, I have zero doubt this person is VMG is coping about by going, Lara Croft's an archaeologist. She has to study, right? And that's what I have to say about that. That's what I have to say about that. I agree with Anwar Ace, which is like, this is Eldrazi good stuff, and Lara Croft is here so you can tell people, no, it's a flavor deck, don't kill me. It's a flavor deck, don't kill me. And so if we want it to be like Roaming Throne, we have seen a different Lara Croft deck that had an issue that feels similar in direction. They were trying to do a totally different thing than you're trying to do. So there's not a lot of overlap in actual mechanics. But Lara Croft is a really, really broad IP. Anything that deals with discovering, exploring, even the like, I'm sure a lot of these places you grandfathered in flavor wise because you're like, oh, Nest Invader, that's a creature. That's a creature. Lara Croft sees creatures. She's exploring tombs. And kind of the same goes for probably Awakening Zone. The title looks and sounds like, the art looks and the title sounds like a thing Lara Croft might venture into. And so a real difficulty with Lara Croft and other things that are extremely broad IPs is that we have to tunnel down what the flavor is. We have to tunnel down the flavor into something that gives us a mechanical mandate rather than just a like, oh, the art kind of looks like this so I can justify it. Because even though you can pull that argument about, oh, archaeologist study, once the Rhystic Study comes down, or like the One Ring comes down, even though the One Ring you might be able to argue is like, oh, Lara Croft raided this from a tomb, it's very difficult to convince people you are playing a flavor deck when you're just slamming the most powerful staples in the game into some of the most powerful creatures in the game. And so if we want this to be a flavor deck, we need Lara to do more stuff. We could pivot harder into treasures. We could utilize more legendary artifacts. Although legendary artifacts isn't going to do an incredible amount for Eldrazi, this also seems built for the flavor you wrote in the primer, which was Lara Croft sets out on a daring adventure to uncover lost treasures, but instead stumbles upon the ancient and terrifying Eldrazi. That sounds like the Eldrazi are coming at the end. It sounds like the Eldrazi are coming after we've done all of this other Lara Croft stuff, and the deck looks built to just turbo Eldrazi as quickly as it can. And so that's another, yeah, like we do have some legendary lands in here, but we don't have. This deck is like one of those movies that spoils everything in the trailer. You can go, I'm doing Lara Croft, and I'm doing Lara Croft, and she will discover Eldrazi. And then from turn 1, we're just going like, I'm playing good cards because they are good. Which is fine if you want a good card deck. Again, it's okay to play cards that are strong because you like strong Magic. But we need to move away from speed running, as Lockwood has so eloquently put it, and we need to move into some things like exploration. I'll let you keep that. I am a crazy fucking land hater. I'm a crazy fucking ramp hater, and even I cannot deny the on vibesness of putting exploration in the Tomb Raider deck. That one's very 1-for-1. Other things we probably want to look at are legendary team year artifacts that can get something going for us. And we want to try to swap out. We are going to want to swap out the highly generic things like the One Ring, the Rhystic Study, the Palantir of Orthanc, or really the Sylvan Library. Like even the Palantir of Orthanc is more on theme than Sylvan Library. Like this, you just went, oh, the art has a boat on it. The people on the boat are exploring, therefore Lara Croft. These are the types of jumps we do not want to make as much. Singo Muse with the absolutely beautiful first suggestion. Absolute fucking heater in my Henzi deck. This is a thing Laura could discover, and Eldrazi can burst out of here. Crazy style. So I think this becomes sneak attack yesterday. Yesterday, you make this into sneak attack. Wrong cave is funny. I'll tell you that. We have lurking predators already. Let's look at other stuff. I hate that the Great Henge seems reasonable. I like Sword of the Animist. Sword of the Animist is a very reasonable card that will play into her wanting to crash out a little bit. It's a weapon she could have raided from a tomb. It will ramp you. That will feel better than Burgeoning. Obviously, Burgeoning is stronger, but making this more flavorful is definitely going to power down the deck a little bit. This one's interesting for me because this one like hardcore sucks and is really, really applicable for the Explorers in Eldrazi cave thing. I like that. That's a little but-dumb. But-dumb. This feels like a thing she would find. We could use the reality chip as a card draw engine over something like Sylvan Library, over something like Fecundity. Fecundity's oh, because you're using all these scions. Over like Mystic Remora. I think Chameel is both flavorful and kind of useful for you. We do want to clear out all of these lower hits, and we do want to stop ourselves from being counterspelled. Zerthro Shack, thank you for the 300-bit cheer. I will gladly take your money. Thank you for that contribution to the dog pile. Hey, thank you, Vrang. I appreciate that. We could do a Chroma's Memorial. We could do Excalibur. We could do Embercleave. I don't think they're necessary, but these are all possible. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. This is a very solid Tomb Raidery thing that is going to give us card advantage. We could do Mazzolanti as well. You could do Bitterthorn. I mean, this was in the same goddamn secret lair, right? Key of the Vault is okay here. I think I dislike it a bit because what's gonna happen to you that's gonna make you shirk all of this advice and go back to your terrible, terrible, like CEDH value engine ways is you're going to equip Key to the Vault. You're going to swing with Laura. You are going to connect. You're going to check the top, like, 3 of your deck. And we're not going to hit an Eldrazi. And then the next turn, you're going to draw an Eldrazi and be like, well, now I can't free cast it. This card is worthless. You should be playing it, though. We should at least be trying it. This is another... I think this is a much more flavorful way to cheat out Eldrazi than Sneak Attack. What this is also going to do is it will make Laura a more meaningful threat. Right now, Laura's just kind of there. Key to the Vault, Laura is now an engine by which you can go, okay, I've gone into the cave. I've found the vault. I've found the key. I unlocked the vault. What is in it? Octopus monster. Now you all die. That's flavorful. No, Alec man, you are talking about a type of flavor that we are not talking about. MTG lore flavor does not exist. I think if this person cares about the flavor of the Eldraine quartz, sure. But I don't think that is the flavor we are talking about. Baconator, neither. You are casting from exile from your graveyard. Like, you are exiling things from your graveyard and then casting them. This is a cheat out Eldrazi method. I feel like this could be... This would definitely have to be like one of those weird science caves. I think they call them laboratories. But you could find the planar bridge in some type of fucked up like Stargate SG-1 crypt. Oh no, I swing with Annihilator 4. I think losing the cast triggers on my 10-10 with Annihilator 4 is just like... We just don't care. We just don't care. Or if we, let's see, if Planar Bridge got out Eldrazi Conscription, can we still put it on Laura, or does it get put out with just nothing on it? Quips and Guac, thank you very much for the raid, my friend. I hope you were having a good stream. Avocado, forehead avocado. Beautiful indeed. Beautiful indeed. What else can we put in here that is going to feel Tomb Raidery? This is evil and do not do it, but you might laugh. I think the belligerent is downright useful. If we use Laura to crew this, we get access to playing lands off the top of our deck. We get additional treasure tokens, and I think it will still trigger Laura's raid ability. Yeah, because we will have attacked. So this is... Let me look at the Titanic. Oh yeah, that's great, because we can just keep replaying this to make a shitload of treasure tokens, right? So I think this is... This is how we bring the flavor back into it. It's okay for the top end of the deck to be a little bit weird. A thing I want to impress upon you, VMG, is the idea of either your journey or your destination has to be reasonable. And this goes for all things. This goes for power level, this goes for flavor, this goes for like how exciting you think the deck is to play. We need to have at least one be reasonable. And for a flavor deck, Eldrazi's kind of crazy. It's not impossible, but it is not the first thing people think of when they think of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which means that our journey to it has to be reasonable. Our journey to it has to involve a lot of value engines or ways to draw cards that feel very Lara Crofty. We can see Lara Croft on the pirate ship going to the destination with 0 difficulty. We can see her examining ruins that look like this with 0 difficulty. And then these things can make us end up at crazy Eldrazi bullshit, and it will be accepted. But we need to take these cards, and we need to fucking surgically excise whatever part of your brain convinced you to run Guardian Project. My kingdom to be able to spell one thing correctly on Scryfall. Tomb of Horrors Adventurer is downright fine. I'm not a big believer in it because we are currently not set up to double spell that great. All of our things that are low cost are counter spells almost exclusively, which means that we're not going to be double spelling into these Eldrazi. Most of the Eldrazi we want to double spell into are legendary anyway, and so copying them is like not going to work. I do not think dungeon as a mechanic is necessary. I think if there are really good dungeon cards, if there are really, really good initiative cards, we can run those. But I think needing to delve into a dungeon is a little bit too literal. Like, you could explore the Underdark as ramp. It is pretty inefficient, but inefficiency is often the best friend of flavor. Yeah, and the rest of these are really not that great. Really, really bad. Not even not that great. Really, really completely terrible. So there's Dungeon Map, which is thematic and also god-awful. There is You Find a Cursed Idol, which could replace Nature's Claim. I think that's a mild flavor upgrade at minimum. There is Secret Door, which, holy shit, this is so bad. If you play Secret Door, you will no longer have to Little Bean. You will just be small. Find the Path is more thematic ramp, so it's going to venture into the dungeon. It's going to ramp us a little tiny bit. Yeah, and that's really it. I would not suggest too many more of these. I think a lot of what will carry this deck is replace all of the stuff you found on EDH Rec. So the One Ring, Rhystic Study, Sylvan Library, Fecundity, Mystic Remora, fucking Food Chain, dog. And as many of these like general Eldrazi support cards with legendary artifacts and legendary lands and things like you find a cursed idol, so that the path to Eldrazi feels littered with Lara Croft references, and then this can be like an exciting top end for a Lara Croft deck rather than just like, yeah, Lara Croft went to the mall. So right now we are deep over here. I think it runs well. I do think one single removal spell makes you shit your pants, but I think that is like, you know, the trade you make when you build a deck that can so reliably ramp into the big thing, and then you have a very, very small number of big things. God, that is disgusting. God, that is disgusting. And I think what you will find is once you have things that are not Eldrazi in here, you will have so much more room for other good interaction like Untimely Malfunction. Holy God. The Duskmourn flavor might not land on this, but I am sure Lara Croft has once had a device that malfunctioned in an untimely manner. I swear to God, I promise you. And that will fix you. Right now, we are just so fucking utility focused. We are so utility focused. This is, you have the unseasoned chicken and rice bodybuilder meal right here. That's what we've got going on right now. And I believe in your ability to make something great. But my God, am I tired of chicken and rice. This is where we are going to leave you, VGM. Thank you very much for submitting. I hope this was helpful or at least entertaining. We're going to hit the manual ad break, and then we will answer a few of those other redeems before getting into Vanilla Bean Man's deck roast. And I will be right back. Okay, we return. Little Nadu is not in the cluck chair today. I think this is actually, I'll go a little bit smaller for this. Spare you all my giant fucking noggin for the VOD. Shaper, Ixalan does have caves. Unfortunately, caves are fucking terrible. Colin Ward is asking opinions on a flashed base Urza deck. Colin, that sounds really, really cool, and I wish you the very best of luck at the Buzz Lightyear cosplay competition. I think you'll do tremendous. Is the cap 20 for customs tomorrow, boss? I might raise it a little bit, but if it's higher than 20, it'll be like 30. Yeah. Because we're going to have a little more time, but we're not going to have a lot more time. Bone Lord, thank you for the random FMK. And then from... Personal question from Terrence before the previous roast. Is there a good way to have a mill deck that's trying to use mill to arm a different win strategy? Yes, but it is extremely narrow and it's basically just theft, and it's done almost like the best it's done by is Captain Nagathrod. Okay, can we... Come on. We know who I'm... Come on. We know who I'm talking about. Come on. There he is. So if you want to mill, but you don't want to mill your opponents to 0, if they're playing good cards, those are your cards now. Gimme, gimme. That is one of the most powerful things you can do in Magic. It gets better as your opponents play better and better cards. So, I mean, like, there are believers in Hope who's really using life gain to mill rather than using mill for anything else. But you're not going to use mill to, like, you're not going to use mill to burn people. You're going to use mill to rob people. You can do my beloved, beloved boy who does just kind of descend into +1/+1 counter slop, which is really unfortunate. But you can use mill to fuel a beatdown strategy as well. And that's kind of it. It's extremely narrow, but it is possible. Then a personal question from Shade. Also, Steven, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Personal question from Shade. Do you have advice/suggestions for improving at deck building without net decking? My advice is to net deck. My advice is to take templates that other people have made and then ask yourself, how would I do this better? Take a template that works and go, well, I like this one facet of it more than I like the other facets of it. How would I change this deck to achieve this part of it better without sacrificing overall function? And then after you do that many, many times, then build your own decks from scratch. But after net decking, it is just building your own decks from scratch and then correctly assessing what is bad about them. I think the one thing that is holding back the majority of deck builders is the idea that you cannot adequately figure out what's wrong with a deck via goldfishing. So many people go, oh, but goldfishing doesn't help me because I don't know how people are going to use removal. You can. It's called pretending. It's called going, okay, well, I'll pretend that I'll pretend that I played lands and then did Farseek. What if there's an insane person at the table who counterspells my Farseek? How fucked am I? Play the deck that way. If somebody tries to win the game on turn 5 with a creature-based combo, how fucked am I? Just ask hypotheticals. You can figure out 80% of what is wrong or right with a deck by just asking yourself hypotheticals while you playtest it. No, Maul, the thing holding people back is using non-commons. That's you holding yourself back, Shaper. If it's for Arena specifically, that is probably like play more draft, listen to more draft. If your arena decks are not working, you're likely trying to build commander decks in a 1v1 situation rather than building 1v1 decks. I mean, Bone Lord, this hand has a counterspell in it, so it's counterspelling Scute Swarm. Is the answer there. There's a million different answers to And see, that's the other thing is everybody wants to be, and this is why you can never talk about playtesting because everybody wants to be tremendously cute. You're being very, very cute right now, and Magic players love being cute and getting into this like endless argument of, well, if you play this card, I would play this card, and well, if I played this card, you would then play this card, and then, but what if I had this card? Like, just do single step hypotheticals. Do not allow it to carry into maladaptive daydreaming about what this deck might do one day. Just be like, could I respond to a problematic creature by turn 5? Yes or no? And then don't fucking freak out. Just record that as information and try to pay attention to stuff like that over the course of various playtests. And then just go like, okay, I playtested this deck 20 times. In 0 playtests, could I have dealt with a problematic creature by turn 5? Perhaps that is a weakness. Perhaps that is a weakness. Shade, what I'll leave you with before we move on to Vanilla Bean Man's roast is for 1v1, as much as you can, everything needs to be an individual threat or remove a threat. If everything in your deck adheres to those qualities and then your mana curve is non-ridiculous, you will be fine most of the time. Hey Anthony, what's up? We're in the middle of a deck snark stream. Okay, Vanilla Bean Man, are you still here? I desire proof of life. Wolf Crabber, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Charmander, it is technically possible. If you ever see it happen, I would urge you to pinch yourself because you are probably dreaming. Perfect. All right, time for Vanilla Bean Boy. This is a scary deck. The primer is just a mulligan guide. You are looking for 3 to 4 lands in hand and a token maker. There is not any graveyard recursion, that's probably wrong, but there is a lot of redundancy. As such, I tend to not sacrifice non-token creatures, but that is a choice for me as a player. Caesar's final ability as a finisher is to get rid of troublesome players, so you'll more often than not use the second ability to get more cards in hand. All right. Vanilla Bean Boy, so much love to you. Just off the fact that part of your primer was, did you know Caesar's really good at drawing cards? I'm going to guess that this is not in fact scary, but is Baby's first upgraded precon? And that we've definitely put a ton of money into the precon? Okay. Okay, 5,500. Perhaps I'm incorrect and there's a Necropotence in here. Oh, we're doing references. Oh, how bold of you. All right, we have Ocelot Pride, Aenox Strike Leader. All right, so we have a million different little shithead creators. Here's the scary. Here is 100%. Here is 100% of the deck scariness. I get it now. I mean, we're making. Wait, are these soldiers or human soldiers? They're not technically humans. Yeah. Okay. Hands off the keyboard. We have a very normal Caesar deck and his incredibly angry girlfriend. Yeah, I think Aneem Pakal and Winota solo the rest of this deck any day of the week. We're on fucking. Yeah, we got. All right. We have Sharpie on the Epstein list is a diabolical tag for this. Is this all of our removal? That's scary. Now the deck's coming back up. That's scary. Oh no, okay, we have Blasphemous Edict too. Then we have a little bit of Aristocrats. Finishing all over the table. Good boy. Good boy. fucking god. I need to gain life. I need to gain life. They're gonna get me. They're gonna fucking get me. And Shadow in here too. Oh my god. Strongest mechanical theme of the deck so far is holy shit, this do cost money. Did it hurt when I inserted the credit card? Did the place I bought this card from ask for a 15% tip? If so, it is going in the deck. Hell yeah, Hanware Garrison, brother. Hell yeah. Okay, let's see how this is moving. We got Blood Artist. We got 2 lands. We have some drain effects and some doublers. I mean, we could take Windcrag Siege as our token maker. Now that follows the rules they said. I'm making them do it. We will mire. The playtest is now color fixed. This is a triumph. Probably go like Elas Ilkor. I'm gonna name. I'll name the token generation. It's the safe. There she fucking is, dog. There she fucking is, man. Alright, I play this and I do nothing. I play this and I fucking wait, bro. I get to draw because the 1/1 that I make off of Windcrag Siege. Okay, now we Caesar on turn 5. I'm shaking in my fucking boots. I'm shaking in my goddamn boots. CEDH players, look out. If there's a cannon in this pod, I'm about to be not very nice to this man. Bond, I want to pretend for a moment that Winota is not the actual commander of this deck. Can I do that? Can I pretend for a single second that Winota's not the real commander of this mess? And then I will... I have like 3 1/1 red goblins. I will throw them into the fucking wind. I will make 2 1/1s. So now we have enough soldiers that it's actually about to get super fucking important. So we have 2 goblins, one of which has been sacrificed to make 2 soldiers. Great. This is a totally normal number of non-human creatures to swing with Winota. Terrence, I don't think we have Winota tutors because I think Vanilla Bean Man believes this is a Caesar deck. We also get to draw a card, sure. Next turn. Hot diggity shit, man. How many lands are in this contraption? Alright, whatever. We Winota, we have an extra goblin. Hey, look at that. We swing fucking all of these guys. All my non-humans out here. We check the top 6 cards of our deck 7 times. This is almost certainly 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we have to pick a human. So we get Myrel from the first grab, right? Yeah, we pick a human. So we get Myrel. These go to bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get Voice of Victory. Never mind. Sephiroth is somehow a fucking human. We get Sephiroth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 6, right? Not 5. Yeah. We get Taste of fucking Karlov. Now we're scary. Now I'm fucking terrified. Yeah, fucking shake my hand, GG's. So, hmm. Vanilla, I would tell you this is not a scary deck. This is a bracket 2 deck, unless. And then the unless is Winota hitting the table and nobody having instant speed removal. Because we have a ton of different token generators. That much is extremely true. We have some aristocrats effects. I swear the deck normally wins with token spam. I swear this never happens. I swear the deck normally wins with a totally different woman beating the shit out of everybody. I mean, there's some good stuff that can happen. I think that we have just we have never been hit with the amount of removal that we deserve to be hit with in our life. I would call this spooky. Because a lot of the stuff you're doing is super fucking normal. We have 35 land, so we have a somewhat low land count, a relatively normal ramp count, and our card draw basically doesn't exist, right? We have Skull Clamp and we have Skull Clamp, we have that one sheep thing, and then we have God's Love in Our Heart. And that is all of our card draw. So that means that your deck is like super fucking fragile. So you probably think it's really, really good. And if we enter our Mind Palace and we go, okay, I do nothing turn 1. All right, turn 2. Let me get this fucking token out here. Turn 3. Let me get these fucking tokens out here. Turn 4. Counterspell. I die. I die. Because now we have like some 2/1s and half of a prayer. If we... My heart can't do it, man. I can't sign off on a deck that's like, yeah, we're living and dying on swinging this 2/3 safely. I do think it's good that we have clever concealment. My personal advice to you would be fuck all of these drain. Never played Fallout, but I get the concept. No, you do not. No, you do not, sir. What I would personally recommend you cut is all of the drain effects. I personally think all of these are bitch made. I think you should be able to create more than enough damage without utilizing them. Like if you shoot somebody for fucking 27 damage in the chest because of Caesar, why do we even care about, oh, by the way, take one for the guy that I sacrificed? Yeah, if we convoke out City on Fire, that's Fallout as shit. What do we give a shit about a Blood Artist trigger for? This guy's also crazy heat, especially if you want to have 1/1 tokens that are crashing out at all hours of the day. But this deck right now, what's the dog? Am I crazy, guys? What is the dog? That like we have Winota. What is the thing? At least we're not playing the dog. Luros? This deck doesn't even... We don't use Lurrus that well. But like, oh, Philia? Philia would be so much better. What do you mean? It's... What the fuck do you mean? At least it's not the dog. It's your second copy of the woman that wins you the game on the spot. Oh my god. 3/3 elk reference to distract me from the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, top heavy mess that we have in front of me. Alright. So your token generators are reasonable. I love this tag. And I think these things, I think Arabella, a Gate Instigator, Crete, War Leader's Call, Perforos, all also totally reasonable. We have Voice of Victory. The thing that I like the least, that I think you would need to change if you wanted this deck to have, if you wanted this deck to have a better chance of succeeding, is getting rid of these Aristocrats effects for more vegetables. The Aristocrats effects are things that really do not fucking matter until everything is already going really well for you. And the things that can stop stuff from going well for you is not drawing your lands, which you're probably not going to do because you only have 35 lands in the deck. Not drawing your ramp, which you're probably not going to do because you only have 8 mana rocks in the deck. Like the boys you need. We gotta hit you with the fucking Bob Patrol, my friend. Darkstar Augur, Dark Confidant, and Keen Duelist. Take these 3, strap them to your fucking thigh, and then when you have something cooler to put in, you can take them out. But the like, everybody wants Bob time. It came free with having cards in your deck. Other things we can play instead of this, because we have so many token makers, you could do Idol of Oblivion. Well, Time, it's amazing that you played it wrong for that long. You could do Caretaker's Talent, we can do Takasia's Welcome, we can do Benny Brax. You are literally a glutton for choice. And if your deck is working, you almost certainly do not need Aristocrats effects to make it convert unless you are trying to loop. And if you're trying to make it loop, then who cares? So there's, let's just bring up the full list of motherfuckers who do this really well. This guy does it well and convokes. This thing does it well, lets you make an extra token of something useful, gives you a token banner. This thing does it really well and will make you a 10/10 later on in the game. There's Mentor of the Meek. This one I would not recommend for the current version of the deck because you do not have the spare mana to pay into this motherfucker. But after your card draw gets better, perhaps. You can do Welcoming Vampire. All of your tokens will hit this. Nearly everything you have put in the deck apart from the tokens will hit this. And you will be amazed at how much better life gets and how much harder it is for your deck to just fold in half at that first farewell that I know you have asked to soft ban from the playgroup. When you get to turn 6 and you have a full hand and you've done all this stuff versus getting to turn 6 and you've either vomited your hand to play Caesar, or you have a full hand because you've been mana screwed. Oh, we have this already. Vine Boom me, I'm stupid. More of it, please. This fetches something that... God damn it. This fetches a color fixed plains. I can do whatever I want with it. Oh, look at this. Look at the gentle hum of us playing lands and casting spells. And now we do this, and this is just immediately the best fucking thing in our deck. And so let me put it to you this way. An unanswered Anim call wins the game. An answered Anim call does extremely, extremely little. It is much more valuable to you to have something that will defend these guys than just another thing to throw on the pyre. These cards are already strong as fuck, especially if we pay into Caretaker's Talent and give them +2/+2. Like, you are overrunning the board in a matter of seconds. I think you are committing too much of your redundancy to these piddly little drain effects and not enough redundancy to things that will protect. You said, that's why I run all the free protection I run. All 2 of it. We have 2 free protection. We have 2 very much paid protection. And then do we have like Selfless Savior? Do we have the dog who dies? Delny? That's not protection. That's not fucking protection. Delny is the best attacking protection in the game. Bro's playing all these games against a green stompy player who's never heard of a board wipe. Holy fuck. Okay. So Delny, yeah, let's just blow his fucking mind. Let's just blow his fucking mind right now. When you get up off the fucking floor, let me know, dog, and we can keep going with the card suggestions. when you've recovered. So there's protection from attacking. The 1/1s surviving attacking, I think, is less important in every individual instance. What you should be much more worried about is someone just going, "Oh, Anim Pakal, that's." We're not saying Delny's bad. No, Delny also. None of this is saying cut Delny. Delny is a good card. I told you to cut the Aristocrats pieces. What I'm saying is that most of this deck is undone very simply if they go in and do a precise. If they just like. It's like unhooking one thread in a t-shirt and the whole thing comes undone. Yeah, we're on pancakes and we're on waffles, Vanilla. I'm not saying I hate waffles. But a lot of your deck, because you do not have recursion, a lot of your deck is balanced, for lack of a better term, balanced around, I am going to resolve one really good token maker. I am going to resolve Caesar. That is going to win me the game. That is true if nobody in your game has heard of Swords to Plowshares. Now, if everybody you play with is on the same amount of interaction as you are on, you are good. You are good for life. But it may shock you to learn most decks are on 3 to 4 times as much actual interaction as you are on. Internalize that. That's who I'm trying to defend you from. That is who I wish to defend you from. And so these guys that are just doing like little extra 1 pings, the ones that say each can be okay in most live combat situations, you're way better off having another way to protect your board or another way to protect your individually powerful permanents. Hey, look at that. Look at how all of my 1/1s have survived attacking, and they're now 2/2s. God damn. Type shit, brother, indeed. Or actually, because you're in Mardu, you get to have some of the funniest protection in the game, which is the Boing Whip if somebody tries to cast removal on you. You removed my commander? I don't think that's true. I think you removed your commander. Or yeah, flawless maneuver as well. Literal free spell that is going to protect us from a board wipe. Like, we're still going to fold to farewell because every color that is not blue folds to farewell. But there's like... there's this whole world of stuff that we are missing out on because we want to build the greatest Factorio mod possible. Yeah, and we have clever concealment. Like, we have the 4 best ones in my estimation. It's just that we have skimped on our redundancy in the most important places of the deck, and we have doubled down on redundancy in a place that is super fucking not important, which is the aristocrat section. Four is not enough. 4 is a low amount if you want to be confident you're going to draw one in a given game. If you have 4 of something in the deck, that's the amount where you can say, I might see one of these. I'm also totally happy if I don't see one of them. Which is not how I think a Caesar deck should feel about board protection. Elliot, so you're in the vertical stream right now. The horizontal stream is going to get published to my YouTube channel under the live tab. So if you're at work right now, you can definitely watch it back later. So if you don't want to replace them all for different protection spells, we also benefit from replacing the worst of these with more of the really good card draw engines, because we have Caretakers, one of the best, Enduring Innocence, which is one of the best. We still don't have Benny. We still don't have Idol of Oblivion. We still don't have Welcoming Vampire, which is going to trigger all of the fucking time. And all of these things are going to fill in the terrible, terrible gaps that I currently see. But yeah, it's like This hand is good, right? We have 2 instances of removal. We have a token generator. And then if this was a banner, I'm happier. If this was a card draw engine, I'm happier. And I realize you are overconfident because you have Caesar in the command zone. So if this was a like redirect ability, a protection spell, you are much, much better off. In my pods, the soldiers never see the end of combat, so quit being a coward. My soldiers never see the end of combat, so I made them fucking accountants. Do better. Simply do better. Oh, something in here will do this for us. There is a land that does it. Rev can do it as a one-off. I will not recommend a Planeswalker, but this Planeswalker does it. Company Commander does it. Archetype of Finality does it, but is expensive. All Out Assault does it while giving you multiple combats. Ankle Shanker does it while protecting your creatures from dying. Wish Drinker Vampire does it while still being one of these aristocrats pieces. I will not accept your low effort rebuttals. You have a million ways to do this while crashing out in the beautiful and glorious way Mardu intended, instead of sitting back and just playing with a fucking abacus all day. Slarnoff, please go to dog hell for being contrary when you absolutely know what the point was. Yeah, we could also just do reconnaissance. That's very flavorful to the, well, it tends to be flavorful to how most people play Fallout. There's also Dolmen Gate, which we put up earlier. I don't want reconnaissance. I want my creatures to die. If you... Okay. Then we will put this up to creative differences. I am telling you the current biggest weakness of your deck is that you are devoting a lot of card slots to this aristocrat sub-theme that is not serving you as well as it could. If you want to do aristocrats because you dreamed one day of growing up to be an IRS agent, I think there are simply commanders that would serve you better than Caesar. But right now, you are trying to achieve too many different things to achieve any of these things reliably or under duress, because we are trying to do so much token generation. We're trying to ping for this token generation. We're trying to ping when they die. We're trying to ramp as well. We have no room for our own interaction. We have barely any of our own interaction. We have barely any protection. And we have barely any card draw, which means that every single run out of this deck is going to be very fragile. And I have told you how to fix it. If you do not wish to play that deck, that is okay, but that is where the feedback is going to stand. I think we are kind of monkeying all over in the middle. I'm putting you on the left side for this fucking Winota, though. Holy shit. Holy shit, the Winota jump scare was something else. Yeah, there's this too. Thank you, Devons. Almost innumerable amounts of choices to make the combat go better for you. Yeah, there's one demonic tutor. So we're not tutoring, we're certainly not playing Winota every game, but anytime we play Winota, like Winota, Anim Pakal, Anok Strike Leader, that is the deck. So Vanilla, thank you for the submission. We are going to go to the manual ad break, and then we are going to be looking at Starry-Eyed's deck. No shade, but we did recommend the card draw Zergo. Smothering Abomination for card draw. Oh, that would be quite neat. This aristocrat's effect I'm on. It could fuck you if you get unlucky. It could fuck you if you got really unlucky. Vanilla, I promise you, my friend, I understand that is the build. My feedback is that build is bad. And your experience would be improved by running a different build. But I understand the deck you have set before me. Devin, that's typically going to be done via Ko-Fi review. We set the commissions live at the beginning of every month. They're depending on how the subathon goes. If the subathon, since it's uncapped, if the subathon is successful and goes for a long period of time, then we will be doing a lot of free deck roast giveaways. Well, air quotes free, because it will be free if you are a subscriber rather than totally free. So we will be doing a lot of deck roasts in the coming months, but deck roasts will not go on sale at the beginning of September if we are still doing the subathon, because I think it'll be too difficult to schedule. Yeah, Mud Knuckled. As I said, if they're playing in a pod, like if their pod runs as much interaction as they do, we are good as fuck. We are going to cook them. We have more than enough frying pans in a world where our ops have 3 pieces of targeted removal. We are fucking chilling. And then Bryce, Jester, Kerbathan, and Mad, thank you all for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the doghouse. Alexio's bracket 1 sounds so fucking rude, dog. That has to be unnecessary roughness. Yeah, I think there is also just a miscommunication about what silly, spooky, scary is. I would call this spooky for sure. We're putting out a number of threats that do need to be answered, and then we have a couple threats where if they're not answered immediately are going to take over the game, which is like the heart of spooky. Scary is like everything I play by myself is either a really strong value engine or will threaten to take over the game. So I would call Aneem Pakal and Winota scary cards within this deck, but the deck overall needs like it has to get 1 card out of section 1, which is the token maker section, and then it has to get its commander out, and then it has to get another card out of section 2, which is currently an aristocrat's piece, and then bad stuff starts to happen to you. I mean, bracket 3 decks can be scary. I would call this a bracket 2 deck that has bracket 3 cards in it. Like, again, it's very... But that's also really heavily informed by how prevalent removal is. Because, like, at the bracket 3 tables, at the... Yeah, and Silly, Spooky, Scary does not adhere straight to the brackets either. Like, Scary in my mind has more to do with if I resolve 1 permanent by itself, you go, ooh, I'm in trouble. This deck cannot do that. Spooky is if I resolve this confluence of like if I'm going to take multiple turns, and if you don't respond to my setup, it's going to get very bad for you. Silly is like, I'm going to do a bunch of shit. Even if you don't respond to it, it's going to take a while for anything really bad to happen to you. Versus like the scariest individual card we can resolve is Winota, and even Winota requires us to have something else out to set up for it. Yes, name me. They actually demand is surprisingly high. Okay, Starried, please provide me with proof of life. But I would say most bracket 3 decks tend to fall into spooky. I think that I typically don't see decks begin to be scary until we're talking about like bracket 3 but good. Like there are some bracket 3 decks where they are just real solid. And then there's most bracket 4 decks kind of have to be scary unless the person has totally misunderstood the bracket system. All right, Starry is here. This is a spooky deck. Hello again, Doghouse. By now, I've made something of a name for myself as a shameless scaly. This is true. The last, I think, 2 decks they have submitted have been about lizard fucking. As such, it is with great pride that I present my first deck not helmed by a reptile. Interesting. Just a bald man, which I think might be worse. Don't worry, I'm still on my bullshit. The deck before you is a role-playing exercise in being a dragon. With Kellogg in the command zone and almost half a deck that either actively or passively makes treasures, I will amass my hoard, steal from my opponents what is rightfully mine, and cackle maniacally when I manage to win by sheer wealth. I opted to keep things bracket 2 because of how tied up in the dragon experience I was during construction, but seeing how well some of the goldfishing went, I would be open to going higher if you think it could work. Without further ado, I invite you to become the dragon you wish to see in the world. Okay. I like this slant. I like the premise here is solid. Kellogg is good for taking stuff. We fold to removal crazy style. So I better see a lot. I better see like Imp's Mischief. I better see all the fucking tricks. Alright, Starry. I better see every goddamn trick in the book to prevent this man from being shot. And why, pray tell, would a forest fire need to snuff a candle to burn the brightest? That better be in the Wattpad. That better be in the Wattpad, dog. Alright. Knuckles, solid as fuck. Revel in Riches, almost certainly necessary. Hellkite Tyrant. Okay, so here are the 3 ways in which we are winning the game. Tremendous. They say my hoard is cursed. I prefer to call it enchanted. No level of good tagging will ever save you from an Academy manufacturer. Go fuck yourself. Then we have Inspiring Statuary to Mana Cheat. Mastermind Plum. Okay, Treasures draws cards. That's pretty good. Alchemist Talent seems fine, but is very decidedly bracket 2. Treasure comes easily to one as grand as I. Fake your own death. Involuntary employment. How does Kellogg make treasures? Okay, so he makes it from attacking. So we have at least one solid engine, which I think makes it okay that all the other ones are very ridiculous. Envious. How can I be envious of what is mine? We are doing Treason effects. We are doing Laughing Jasper Flint. We are doing Lock Treasure Hunter. Price of Loyalty. We're doing a lot of temporary creature robbing for a guy who can just like whole ass take a creature. Legolas, you're so right. We could Knuckles the Echidna. That would be pretty fucked up. Form of the Dragon for best flavor. I'll look at that right now, Fire Ice. Hey, no. Hey, we're not doing this. Hey. Hey, stop. Stop, okay? Stop that right now. Rev is very, very powerful in this deck. Alright, hey, says make a treasure token on and we're in bracket 2. Decadent Dragon is just good. This card is just a fucking banger. Good theft, okay theft, good theft. I am fire. I am fire, I am death into definitely not enough removal, but hey, at least we have some. I am nothing if not a generous god. Bow before me and give me thanks. I think this one's good. More ways to make treasure. You live only because I am not yet bored enough to kill you for fun. Jesus, these guys suck. But they will die and they will make treasure, and that is all that matters. Pay tribute or burn. I shall have my gold either way. Okay. I'm not even gonna talk for a moment. I'm not even gonna talk for a moment. My fault, dude. My fault. My fault. My fault. I mean, sure, but what makes these better than the other things going on? One of the things I do not understand is why we are doing temporary theft on a commander that is stealing anyway. I do not think the upside of our I get your guy for a turn things, even like, hey, 4 mana, we steal once and we get a treasure token out of it, it's not silly, but and that's a relatively small slice of the cards. But like, dragons are known for kidnapping people, and I'm on that with Kellogg Dangerous Mind. In most media, dragons are not as well known for like stiffing Uber Eats drivers, which is the flavor I'm getting from Furnace Reigns. Like, I realize we put it in because it gives treasures, but when I compare it to what I think is really important is protecting Kellogg. Protecting Kellogg's swings, most specifically. So whether that comes in the form of, like, we could flavor a mithril coat as like a dragon scales. We could do like extra combat spells might even help us, and we could flavor, I don't know what the fuck we flavored, the dragon's reign or something. But there's a lot of stuff we could do that are at least going to split even on how many treasures we're making, while giving us more of an ability to either protect Kellogg or make sure at least that Kellogg or our stolen creatures are doing something. We could do hit the mother load, but we're probably never getting that much mana, Father Krim. All out assault. We are in Rakdos posted, so we cannot put this in. Dockside Chef is also just like crazy work compared to Bob, in my opinion. Because we don't really, we want to be using these treasures as little as possible. Like, yeah, it is somewhat useful to take Annihilating Glare and be like, ha ha ha, I get to cast this for the cost of sacrificing a treasure, or more hopefully sacrificing Greedy Freebooter. But if you were in the middle of typing, well, I'll just sacrifice Greedy Freebooter, I'm going to refer you back to 10% of your deck is this, 9% of your deck is this, and you need them to kiss for that little interaction to go off. So that's another place where we probably want to... Dragons have these. Dragons have these. Or even... we could be Fallout pilled. I will admit UFOs are clashing in a very unhelpful way with the whole dragon theme we want to be going for. I think we overestimate the amount of fodder that we have in this deck. We are, and I don't think we underestimate how easily we get shot in the chest, but I think we are refusing to respect how easily we get shot in the chest. Wouldn't it be cool to have a bunch of effects that benefit off hoarding treasures and not spending them, like Sunshot Militia or something? It would be pretty cool, but I do think we want to rob. I do think we want to rob and steal and take. And so for every card... all of the card slots that could be Sunshot Militia are currently being used by aristocrats at home. They're being used by Walmart aristocrats. We have Mastermind Plum. Yeah, like they're being used by all this like Chronomancer, Dockside Chef, Costly Plunder, Deadly Dispute type card draw, which is kind of operating on the assumption that we're always going to have one of these random assholes to chuck into an incinerator. Goldspan Dragon is in the deck. I am now going to put each of the chats on a 3 strikes policy. The unidentified flying object in Wild Wasteland might be a dragon. It's unidentified. Beautiful. But let's see how this plays. Good. We have an aristocrat for no aristocrat effects, but we have 2 removal spells. That's solid. Oh, good, and we have Academy Manufactor. So we skip 3 turns, and then we swing this man Revolutionary War style. He just runs onto the field, says, have at thee, probably dies. But we get a treasure. We shoot whoever only has 1 blocker, and we crash again. So now we have one of our shitheads. Very important. Very on theme. We can even pay for shithead and value piece. And then we have no way to get rid of him. So we have a extremely good chump blocker, and that's about it. And then we just crash again, and we continue in this vain hope that nobody will be able to stop the 3-2. Same thing, let's fucking go. We bottle cap blast whoever only has 1 blocker, and we keep fucking going, baby. And so it will be, assuming a good place to bottle cap blast, we will go until turn 7 before we can do anything with Kellogg, and really until turn 6 until we can do anything dragon flavored. Like Starry-Eyed, I'm going to subject you to the same flavor test I subject everybody else to. Do you think until Bottle Cap Blast comes down, this collection of 5 cards is giving off Dragon RP? Which is another one of the qualms I often have about decks that are powered down for their flavor. I think if we're powering down for flavor, it should give us the... we should be able to get really into it. Like, we should be able to get deep in that shit. Whether it's dragons on the arts, whether it is like draconic-esque cards. I think we currently have... a minor leagues Rakdos Aristocrats team. The removal, I do think, is thematic, and then we're not getting the treasures quickly enough. What was your aversion to Zorn? Because I'm looking at the lack of Zorn. while looking at the inclusion of Academy Manufacturer, and I'm scratching my head. If we had cut, haven't looked at it. Okay, great. So we have one ad for free, which is going to be the treasure man that could. Other things. Wow, that's worse than I remembered. I really thought that gave flying. Starry-eyed, where are we on the line between Kellogg has to be an actual dragon and Kellogg is a mentally unstable man who believes he's a dragon? Where where are we on that? Because I think it's a lot easier. I think it's a lot easier to execute. Kellogg is off his meds and thinks he's okay. The latter, perfect, perfect. We could do Draconic Destiny. It is tough that it costs 3 mana. That does hurt. It'd be really funny to cast this on, on Kellogg. I would laugh if you did Eye of Nidhogg on Kellogg. He's a dragon now. Fuck you all. He did it. So things we can care about. Things we can care about are, I'm going to give Kellogg evasion. I am going to give Kellogg protection. Protection is probably going to be the hardest thing to do on theme. Oh, yeah, because we can't. The only thing coming to mind is the art of deflecting SWAT, but that is a game changer, and I do not think we go up to bracket 3. No, Nidhogg does not remove abilities. Nidhogg is just like, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Keep going. You're just a 4-2 now. So let's go to EDH Rec and see if there are any other, like, we're going to go to the zoo and we're going to look in the exhibits and see if there are any other generalized treasure cards that we're missing. And then we can look for things that are going to be, like, actually good. Yeah, fuck all these cards. Sticky Fingers is useful, but it does not feel very dragony. All right, Diamond Pickaxe is the type of thing where, I don't know, Kellogg went on a mining expedition and he inhaled too much sulfurous gas and that convinced him that he was a dragon. I can see that. That happened to my uncle. But most of what I'm thinking about is getting Kellogg to 4 damage with First Strike. Horrifyingly relevant. Horrifyingly relevant. And then Bolt Bend, yeah, Bolt Bend won't work for us until we can buff Kellogg, so we shouldn't do that. We should very much be doing Redirect Lightning. I don't know. At some point in the series, Zuko must have yelled that he was the dragon now. We are not trying to get Kellogg that high up in damage, Shadow Walker. We care more about, I want to speed up our treasure generation. If increasing damage happens to help that as well, cool. Most of what I want is for this treasure stuff to come online earlier And for this theft to be a meaningful threat earlier. I think having to go like 5 turns of not being interacted with in order to rob anybody is extremely tough, especially when you combine it with like, oh, that could have been a pickaxe. That could have been a mentally unstable man's rusty weapon. Then we go like this. We are at 1 treasure. Yeah, Starry, that's the direction I'd take it. I like the premise. I think this is a good and flavorful thing you can pull off. I'm trying to think of if we have any other good theme cards for man believes he is a dragon. This is going to be a meta bit for sure. I think if you... hear me now, hear me out. It's going to be really meta. It's going to depend a lot on your ability as an actor. Me personally, I would be running all of the spells that let you reveal, behold, or choose a dragon you control and then fail to find. For Dragon's Fire in particular, say, attempt to target Kellogg, fizzle, 3 damage. We just throw like 1 or 2, not many. You only need to do that once. We don't have to do that every second of the game, but if we get like 1 of those, I'm gonna cast Draconic Roar, fail to find. Hell yeah, brother. Like that's like I think it's too deep in the sauce if we like Foul Tongue Invocation. This is just a bad edict. This is like bracket 2 verging on bracket 1 shit. He's pretend crash out anytime I'm reminded there are currently no dragons on the table. Yeah, that's perfect. Caustic Exhale, attempt to make Sarkon work. I really like that one suggestion of Crux of Fate for the bit where you just choose destroy all non-dragon creatures. And you just fucking freak out when they're like, oh, Kellogg dies. What the fuck are you talking about? What'd you just fucking say to me? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's a fucking dragon. Fuck you. And then like Goldspan lives, and that's what matters. Hey, thank you, Jimmy Jams. I appreciate those kind words very much. Okay, yeah. So I would drop the aristocrats, and I would drop these little fodder guys for these dumbass behold a dragon removal spells. Oh, let me look at the artifact. I do love that you're stealing where was he? The tyrant, right? I do love that we are taking soul rings and sitting on them. Reckless Endeavor is on the, let me look. Ooh, I don't think it's on the list. I don't think we've seen this card. Thank you, posted. Bebrew, these are tags that other people have made. Shadow Walker, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Hey, Mauled, is Reaver Cleaver or Spiteful Banditry in the list? I don't think either is. I think Reaver Cleaver is a little bit hopeful, but like, it is bracket 2. So genuinely, you could go for it. if we're going in bracket, like bracket 2 is the bracket of I am going to give up a bit of consistency for dumb pie in the sky dreams, and that's a pretty good dream. We do have Descent into Avernus. I think Reckless Endeavor is good for a board clear, and I do think we need at least one board clear. I don't think we're so silly-pilled that we're just like, okay, we have one. I don't think we're so silly-pilled that we're just like, oh yeah, you guys can just have all your creatures, it's no problem. And there's a very good chance that it makes us a shitload of money, which is also important. Because like imagine the high roll of I cast Kellogg, I swing. That gets me a treasure. I do Insurrection is fine as a game winner. That one's okay because you're taking everything and you're presumably going to kill somebody with their own dinosaur, which is great. I think it's the individual creature ones. But anyway, curving into Reckless Endeavor, there's a decent chance we turn 2 to 3 treasures into like 8. That's a horde. That is a horde right there. Side quest, hunt the mark. That's a pretty cool dragon. And that's pretty mentally unstable bounty huntery to me. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. I see we're not making that many treasures. We are not making like 20 plus. We are making maybe 3 to 8 at a time. This is not necessary. I like the flavor of it. If it does not scratch your itch, do not worry about it. But I do like Reckless Endeavor. It's really unfortunate that Glittering Stockpile is like pretty bad for this deck. Okay, sorry. I think we pick either Spiteful Banditry or either Spiteful Banditry or Reckless Endeavor, and we should get one of these in. Shepis, I like the idea of the Sarkhan bit of like, oh, this guy can actually become a dragon. My worry is that I think this requires too much one person acting to actually be compelling. The stuff that's like Behold the Dragon, it's very quick. It's like 2 sentences of I behold Kellogg. Oh wait, I can't fuck. And that completes the joke. Sarkhan, we have to RP as Sarkhan, and then we have to RP as Kellogg getting mad, which I think is a little bit too involved. He is Behold the Dragon. The difference with Sarkhan and the other Behold the Dragons thing is that when we fail to Behold the Dragon with the other cards, they still do something. When we fail to Behold the Dragon with Sarkhan, he is a 2-mana 2/2. JT rules for powering a deck down. In general, what I would recommend you do is try to find a flavor like this. Mentally unwell man believes himself to be a dragon, and then optimize towards that flavor rather than just does this card do something good. But I like this quite a lot. I like Reign of Riches. I like Hit the Motherlode. I like the actual dragons stealing this man's Riz, and I like the overall plan of the deck. I think the like little shitters tempo game plan is a little bit too. Some tables this will actually be really good at. I think most tables it'll be really bad at. If you ever think you're going to play with an aggro player, keep these cards on you. Darebrain, the thing is we don't actually want to behold the dragon. We want to try to, and then pick Kellogg as our dragon, and then fail to. We have there and back again already. It's a bracket 2 deck, Darebrain. You gotta expand your mind. Starry, I don't think we care about ramp that much if we can protect Kellogg. We either believe in the treasures or you do more like mini Voltron things. Like you What dragon is complete without their giant fucking sword, Starry? So either bust on them, or if you do Dark Confidant, or if you do Phyrexian Arena, whatever card draw engines you can justify for this deck, reduce your need for ramp. I think more of what you need is the ability to boing whip the first removal spell that comes Kellogg's way, and then if you just draw any lands, you will be okay with the treasures. Because like genuinely, if somebody responds to you casting Kellogg with instant speed removal, you can't do anything. That person has bad threat assessment. That's it. Do not fear the curve. There's going to be plenty of treasure. There's going to be plenty of treasure. Nothing bad could ever happen to us. It's totally fine. But Starry Eyed, thank you very much for the submission. That is where we're going to call this list, and that is where today's stream is going to get called. We are going to raid out for the day. We will be back tomorrow kicking off the subathon. That is going to start at noon PST, and that is going to be a custom card stream with my girlfriend, Z main character. There's still going to be plenty of channel point redeems for custom cards, so it's not going to be exclusively paying money, but anybody who does buy Ko-Fi commissions for the custom cards redeems, that will go towards the subathon timer as well, and then we will be revealing all of the fun little gimmicks that we are doing that you get when you sub, when you gift sub, when you donate on Ko-Fi, all that type of stuff. So I hope to see you all there. Let's see which of our friends are live. Decked Out is live, so we will raid into Decked Out. Hit them with the Indestructible Justin rant, accessible via the exclamation point Voltron command from my chat. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I will see you all tomorrow at noon Pacific.